How to Make Finger Crisps by Tracy Todd. It was one of those cold, wintry days. Clouds heavy with potential snowfall. I was sitting in the dining room, a smoky fire burning red-hot coals, my head stuck in a book. I figured, if I kept still and absolutely quiet, I could just hide under my blanket. I simply didn't want to be involved in anything they were doing. This was me time. Nothing wrong with that, I hear you say. My husband, mother, and son were fussing in the kitchen, trying to be cooks. It was supposed to be homemade chips, all fat and greasy to fill a cold tummy. But somehow, my crazy husband convinced them finger crisps would be better. Very sweet of him, I hear you say. What are finger crisps? Let me explain. To make finger crisps at home, you need a food processor. Or you do if you're my husband. It's quite simple, really. Push peeled potatoes into the slicer, and thin bits of potatoes, ready to be deep-fried, pop out. Or, if you're too lazy to slice the potatoes into smaller pieces that will fit through the protective cover and funnel, you take off the lid. Then, with your bare fingers, push the potatoes onto the extremely sharp revolving blades, whilst informing your audience, this isn't the way to do it. It's dangerous. Then, lo and behold, before you know it, you're making homemade finger crisps, as you slice off the top of your fingers and scream in agony, tomato ketchup blood spurting all over the walls. Totally unaware of the growing panic and chaos in the kitchen, I snuggled deeper, covering my head with my woolen cloak. Invisibility is the key to hiding. That's when my mother crashed into the room. "Chrissy, quick, fingers, blood, feel faint." My son clung to her side, tears in his eyes. "Mummy, Mummy." Normally, I would say my mother is a very capable person. But blood does something to her brain. Perhaps in a previous life, she was a vampire, and knows if she sees blood, she'll suck someone dry. I unfurled my body and peeped out from under my obviously not so invisible cloak. The panic-stricken faces of my nearest and dearest stood in the doorway. My mind went through the options. I could A. Ignore them. B. Run away. C. Help. Sighing, I pulled myself off the comfy sofa and, leaving Darcy and Elizabeth behind, entered the disaster zone amidst growing shrieks. My husband, holding his dripping hand over the sink, a tea cloth already stained red, was attempting to stem the gushing blood. I sigh, resigned to my fate. "Mum, go look after Jack." Relieved to be given something to do away from the blood-spattered walls, my blubbering mother and son disappeared into the middle room, as I called for a taxi to rush us to the emergency ward. I took over Christmas turkey slicing that year. My husband, poor soul, sat in the corner, nursing his cauterized blood vessels, brain numbed on analgesics. And the murderous finger crisp machine? Thrown out. Ditched in the snow by the bin. Guilt by association, they said. No jury, no trial. Food processors are apparently notorious for their violent tendencies. Who knew?